What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Deja D. Hopefully you guys can hear me perfectly fine. I'm actually stepping out of my comfort zone and recording this in a cute little cafe today. Just to change up the scenery, get out the house, and talk to you guys. So in today's video, by the title, you can already see the name. I wanted to talk a little bit about things that I wish that I knew before starting my grad school program. I told you guys I started this new channel and it wasn't going to be just vlogs and lifestyle and all of the different things. It is under my name, Deja's Daily Dose, which is my blog, my motivational blog. And if you don't know, I am in grad school pursuing my master's in licensed professional counseling. Okay, so I want to start off by explaining a little bit of my educational background that I already have. I graduated from Hampton University in May 2023, and I got my bachelor's of arts in psychology as well as journalism. So I have a background in psychology already. You don't have to necessarily go to grad school for counseling with a bachelor's of psychology, but I already knew that I wanted to go to grad school and to become a therapist, so I already went to undergrad with that. But some people do like career switches. I have people in my class who were lawyers. I have people in my class that worked in the police force. I have people that do everything, but that's a little bit of my background. I started at LaSalle University here in Philly in January 2025. So I started in a spring semester. Some of these things in this video will be kind of specific to my program. However, take everything with a grain of salt. All of these are also my opinions. I do think that they're valid opinions, but they aren't just my opinions. If you have any questions on anything regarding my educational journey in general, or the program in general, or anything like super specific, leave it in the comment section. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is to be confident in your decision and in your program. I applied for a PhD program actually at Temple for social psychology, and it was just because I was under the impression that in order for you to become a therapist, you had to be a doctor. I didn't know. I just thought that you had to be a doctor. I didn't know that you can do it with your master's. Like, I just did not know. If you're going to grad school, it's really an investment in your future, in your education, and you have to make sure that you're confident and that you do a lot of research and you know what you're getting yourself into. Now, I didn't get accepted into that program, that PhD program, rightfully so. I obviously was not qualified to, but it just went to show that, like, let's say if I did get accepted into this PhD program, I did not necessarily need to do that in order to be a counselor. And I probably still would have never been able to be a counselor with getting my PhD in social psychology because I wouldn't have been an LPC. So do a lot of research in your program. Be confident in what you're doing, whether you're going into engineering, becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor, becoming a neurosurgeon, becoming whatever your career path that you're thinking about going to grad school for. Really do in-depth detail to see what that job's requirements is, because you can be going to grad school and completely not even be going and getting a degree in something that's going to benefit you. Like I said, if I would have got accepted into that PhD program, I still wouldn't have been able to be a therapist. So it was really no point of me doing that. So make sure that you're being intentional with that. And another part that I want to add with that is that it's going to take a lot of time and sacrifices into it. We'll get a little bit further into the details once we get to some of the other points, but I specifically remember talking about becoming a counselor with my own personal therapist, and she was like, make sure that you are sure that you want to do this. It's going to be a long time. It's like damn near 5 years before you're really able to practice on your own. So that's my first tip. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about, I kind of had it as 1 and 2, but I'm gonna group it together just so I can maximize how much I'm telling you guys in this video. So to become an LPC, a licensed professional counselor, it is state by state. Now, this is something that you might know, but I didn't know. So I want to tell you, each state you have to get licensed to be a counselor, which means that, like, you can't get your degree in Pennsylvania and then think that you're just going to hop over to California or hop over to Texas or hop over to New Jersey or go to New York and now you're a counselor over there. First of all, once you graduate, you're still not a fully licensed counselor. You have to do years still of hours to be fully licensed to be a professional counselor, but it's also state by state. So the second part that I was going to add to that in regards to making sure that you're looking at it state by state is you can graduate from a grad school program in one state and move over to the next state, which is something that I am planning to do. I'm currently in grad school in Pennsylvania. However, when I graduate, I want to be fully licensed and I want to start getting my hours to be fully licensed in the state of Washington, D.C. I know that's not a state, it's a city, but I'm from the DMV. I want to go back home. I don't want to necessarily stay in Pennsylvania, but I do plan to get my licensing hours and become licensed in Washington, D.C. So you have to make sure that your courses also align with the state. I know, for example, in California and other states, you have to take classes like human sexuality or sexual therapy in order to be able to get qualified to work over there. So if you are getting an in grad school in a state that you don't want to necessarily get licensed in, make sure that if you do plan to graduate and try to get licensed somewhere else, that you're taking the courses that you need to take in order for them to transfer over to the other state. Cool? Sound cool? For the third thing is choose a program that works for you. And the other side of that is do not rush it. Again, a little bit of my personal opinion, but I feel like it's good advice that I wish somebody would told me, and they did tell me, which is why I did it. If you work a 9-to-5 job and you think that you're going to be able to do your program full time, I'm pretty sure there's people out there that did it and made it work. But don't rush it. Genuinely do not rush it. You have to invest a lot of time in and out of school. And I can say for my program specifically, there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to fully be developed in order to see clients. And you just don't want to rush that process. You want to be confident when you see these clients. You don't want to call any harm or malpractice in the field because you're not doing what you need to do and you're treating clients and you're unprepared because you're stressed out. One, two, three, four. So to get more into detail on that, I am in a 3-year program. My school offered a 2.5, I think it was a 2.5, 3-year, and a 4-year program. 4-year, I was absolutely, positively not. What is the quickest I can do this without me rushing? And I could not do 2 years because, like I said, it would have required me. I already have to be in person for one. I have to physically sit in the classes. I haven't honestly seen many LPC programs that are virtual. And I also am not a fan of virtual learning in my own personal opinion. I would definitely put the Zoom over there and completely not even be paying attention. I was one of those people who were in undergrad during COVID and I definitely just was not paying attention. Did my statistics during COVID for sure. You definitely don't want to rush it. I know people who are doing the 2-year program or the 2-year track at my school who have already started practicum, already started internship, and they have not taken courses such as grief and trauma, addictions counseling, just some of those courses that's if I had a client come to me for practicum and I did not take grief and trauma and they had an issue with grief and trauma, I feel I wanted to have those courses already under my belt before I started to see clients. So I start to see my clients next semester, and the only classes that I have not taken is career counseling and an elective of human sexuality. I've already taken my addictions counseling. I've already taken my grief and trauma counseling. I've already taken counseling lab 1, counseling lab 2. I feel there are some courses that I felt I really wanted to be prepared for before seeing clients. So I'm glad that I didn't rush it. It is a long time. It does take 3 years, which is dang, I might as well be getting a bachelor's degree again. But I personally feel that works for me. Like I said, personal opinion, take it, leave it, do what you want. But I definitely don't recommend rushing it. And then there's a lot of stuff that you have to do as well outside of school, just the traditional sitting down. You have papers to write, you have homework to do, you have books to read. I remember in undergrad, they would assign us books and I just didn't really read them, which is to each his own. And that kind of goes into it as well. With the first thing I was saying, be sure and be confident in what you're signing up to do, because it does take a lot more dedication to it than undergrad, in my personal opinion. Some people's undergrad experience was definitely different, but mine, I just felt it was okay, the basics. I'm just getting the basics done. But now I'm definitely more intentional. I'm I really need to know this information. It's a very serious career. You're going to be sitting in front of clients who are looking for you for the answers, honestly, and really need help from you. So you want to make sure you're like well prepared and prepped for that. You don't want to take it like a joke or anything less than what it is, which is serious. So I definitely don't recommend rushing it and making sure you're doing something that works for you. I have classmates of mine who have children and work different careers and do different things, and finances also play a part as well on how much your time you're willing to commit and not commit. Like I said, my job is very flexible, so I'm able to kind of work around my work schedule and fit it in. But if my job wasn't it, I couldn't leave my job, then you have to do what works for you. So if you have to do a 4-year program, if you have to do a 2-year program, if you have to do a 3-year program, whatever works for you, make sure that it works for you. I wrote down you low-key have to choose between work and school, because as a student, whether you're in undergrad, graduate school, doctorate program, your life and finances will be definitely different. There are a lot of times that I sometimes sit and I'm like, wow, I can go and get another job, but my job that I currently have allows for me to be able to dedicate a lot of time to school, and they're super helpful and flexible with it. So it's like, you don't, yeah, you could work a job. I have a friend of mine who just got hired for a new job, and there are 2 friends of mine that are in my program that actually just got hired for new jobs and positions that do require a lot from them. And they sometimes show up to school late, or they're it's just a little more stressful, shall I say. It's just a lot. You have to kind of make sacrifices. So yeah, definitely a humbling experience. Sometimes you might have to say no to some of those trips and some of those things you want to buy and some of those things you want to do because you're not able to work as much while you're in grad school. But definitely sacrifices, make small sacrifices now. It's not instant gratification. So weigh out your options, see what works for you. But I definitely wanted to make that vocally clear that your life will become like that broke college student. Maybe not as broke as undergrad, because that's a different level of broke for some people. But for me, it was I obviously have a job. I can do things, pay my bills, live on my own. I'm not living the same kind of lifestyle that I was when I was in undergrad as a broke college student, but I'm not a good in my career, ball out, trips, all these different luxuries in life right now, because I do have to dedicate a lot of my time to school. And some of that stuff is free time. It's labor. It's I'm about to do a whole internship practicum where I'm going to work and not getting paid for it. So that's another one. And I think the last one that I want to leave off with is that I have seen people who have went straight to grad school from undergrad. Do what you want. Do what makes sense for you. But I personally think that you should take a time, break from undergrad to grad school. How long your break is TBD, but I definitely think you need to take a break from grad school and undergrad, a little time off. Take some time off, live a little, get a job, get a little bit of experience. I also think that that's also really beneficial. For me, being able to be a social worker, it really helps in my field, but just working in general, getting into corporate America, getting into whatever you want to do outside of school, experiencing some life outside of school, I recommend it. I think that it's honestly, it helps you be able to balance grad school, because you have to think about it. Traditionally, you're in school from maybe when you turn 4 years old, 5 years old, kindergarten, all the way. And if you went to undergrad, which most people do right after high school, you've been in school all this time. And there is a big difference between being in school and being a student and not being a student. And so if you never get to experience life not being a student, you don't get to learn some of those norms. So for me, I understand now that I have experienced some life outside of grad school. Outside of school in general. I know the importance of I can bring some personal real world experience into the classroom when we're talking about certain discussions, and I can say, yeah, when I'm at work, or when I'm dealing with my clients in the field, or when I'm doing this, and this. So I have that experience that if I just went straight to school, I wouldn't have. You also get to kind of be, I think, a little smarter going into that transition once you graduate grad school. I also think it's good to just continue to build your resumes. Like I said, when I applied for that PhD program, they were like, you don't have no experience. You don't have no work experience. You don't have no school experience. What are the different things that you're doing? So being able to have a job outside of school, I think it's the best. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely let me know. Give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, then let me know as well. I'm definitely kicking social anxiety's butt right now. I'm literally in the middle of this cafe shooting this video. So Yeah, shout out to me. Alrighty. I'll see you guys in the next one.